Hey everyone, it's Alex and welcome to this honest review of Sage. Now listen, I know that a lot of people out there are very skeptical of Sage. I know that some other creators and some other people are kind of low on Sage. Honestly, my impressions are pretty positive but tempered. The card definitely has potential. Its ceiling is remarkably high. I think the meta for it right now is absolutely brutal. And it reminds me of what's going to happen in Namora next week when everyone plays Junk. Everyone is playing Leech right now, and Sage is a problematic card for that reason because you want to play it late. I did not have a deck that I found where Sage felt good to play on turn 3. And even if I tried to play Nebula into White Widow, into Sage or something along those lines, it never felt like it was truly delivering on the promise of its power potential. And the result was that I kept holding Sage and then getting leeched where Sage was completely useless. So that is something you need to keep in mind. The meta right now for Sage is pretty rough because even without the new release, like usually we get a new card and everyone tries to counter it, but that's not even what's happening with Sage. Sage is getting hit incidentally by the fact that everyone's trying to counter Hela and everything else with all the leeches that just got buffed. So ultimately Sage is like this bystander that's getting hit by leech nonstop. So it really does hold down its power ceiling and the potential for you to win games off of Sage's power potential alone. But I will say is that I've been continuously impressed with its power output. Like it's getting to massive power levels quite frequently, especially with the addition of Wong, who can really amplify it. I'm going to showcase a couple decks here as well. Right now the win rate on Sage is much lower than I would have hoped. In general, I'm leaning towards a approximate 3-star rating. I see its potential. It is a good card that you don't need. I would not recommend rolling your caches or even spending tokens on it. Definitely wait until later in the week to see if it has any legitimate meta impact. But right off the top, I'm going to tell you, Leech is going to be a complete it's going to be a party pooper for anybody looking to make some Sage gameplay happen because Leech is everywhere and it crushes this card completely. It's literally a 3-0 if it gets leeched. Like, it does nothing. It's a dead draw. So, unfortunately, that's something you need to temper your expectations with. But if leech wasn't as prevalent as it was, or as it is, I should say, I think Sage is actually pretty good. And I think its floor is approximately a 3-4. Like, even if I'm not really trying, it looks like I can get a 3-4 pretty easily. But its ceiling is remarkable, as you'll see in the gameplay highlights as well. Let's talk about some decks, okay? So with regards to decks here, this is by far the one that I found to be the most successful. What you essentially have here is a meta-style deck. It's very similar to the top-tier meta deck that I showcased in my decks of the week. It essentially is a Darkhawk Blink-based deck. And the nice thing about it is the addition of White Widow and Sage allow you to basically have the potential to play, Kitty Pryde on one or whatever, or not even so. You can play White Widow into Sage early and get that little tempo play, but that's not enough, right? That's just a 3-4 on curve. Why would you want to do that? It gives you the opportunity to have a bit of a top-end play in the event you're able to get that advantageous pull of Blink into the Red Hulk or whatever. However, what I found with this deck is that it didn't really need Sage, and Sage is probably the most cuttable card because on turn 6, if you're holding Doom or Red Hulk, they're always a better play. Sage felt good to play in the event that you're able to blink on turn 5 and then rotate the Red Hulk onto the field, and on turn 6 you're holding Sage and you have a play. But even then, you might be playing that Darkhawk. So Sage worked here, but I suspect it was because the deck was just good and not because Sage was carrying it, okay? The other decks we're going to talk about are much more related specifically to Sage. Now, here's a Junk Sage. If you want to do some Junk stuff, this is okay just because it's the meta Junk-based Cannonball deck with Sage included. It's fine if you want to play it. I just want to show it to you because I know there are people that are interested in these style of decks as well. But again, Red Hulk and specifically the Cannonball are great finishers. And so are you actually playing Sage late? That's a question you need to ask yourself. With regards to Negative Surfer, I think Negative Surfer has potential. This deck played really well. I did like it. Again, a little susceptible to the likes, or very susceptible to the likes of Leech, because you're waiting for those miracle plays later in the game. Even something like an Ironheart and Mystique is disrupted by Leech because Mystique is on reveal. But ultimately, the thing I liked about this deck was that you could use Ironheart to redistribute the power levels of cards prior to playing Sage. What I mean by this is if cards are both at 3 power or 4 power or whatever, you can use Ironheart to hit one or the other to make them staggered again to give Sage an additional opportunity to buff itself. Some of the largest Sages I had were on top of Wong's. Wolfsbane was very good here too. The deck played well. again, is just Leech. But if Leech didn't exist, this might have been the meta deck that took over the meta at a 65% win rate. So Leech is acting as that release valve that might be necessary, but it definitely is hampering the success of a deck like this. Even though I actually really like this one, I felt that it played very well. Conversely, you do have straight up Sarah Negative. I didn't have time to fully test this one. I just want to show it to you. Use it at your own risk. I didn't have a chance to play it. But again, it's like the Jane Foster, Arnim Zola, Black Panther thing. But again, it's the Leech that'll kill this deck because you want to be able to play the Jane Foster into the, reduced things. And with the amount of Hellas, I thought maybe Morph was a spicy choice because they're going to be holding large stuff in their hand. I tried a bit of a brew called Super Saiyan, or Sajin. What I will say is that this is a modification of my Super Invisible deck that I've played a number of times. It's one of my personal highest win rate versions of the decks I play. Personal brew, no one else plays it. However, Sage felt a little awkward here, even though behind Invisible Woman, it would reveal later. It was just a little awkward. And so it wasn't the best place for Sage, even though it had the verticality that I wanted. What happened was Sage replaced Gladiator in this deck because Gladiator was problematic with the amount of large cards being played because of the Helic and the ramp style plays with Blink. So the Gladiator was a risk. So Sage replaced it, so it had lower downside. Good deck, but maybe just not the right time for it. Ultimately, I think that the Sage negative Surfer decks have the highest potential. They're really good decks. They're performing very well. I think the amount of verticality they have and the amount of power they can put from a width perspective is pretty legitimate. You got a lot of options to win the game. Again, susceptible to Leech, but at the end of the day, a strong outing for the new card Sage. And you're going to see in these gameplay highlights that I do get it to ridiculously high power levels. It's going to be frustrating for people that try to force into specific decks. You're going to see a lot of low rolls with Sage, but honestly, the card is pretty good, but I don't think you're in a position where you need to roll for it. I don't think it's going to make archetypes shine all in on of its own, but it is pretty legit. You are going to be seeing regular 312 Sages when the stars align. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Hitting the like button is free and it supports my content tremendously. It's all that YouTube cares about, and I hope you enjoy these gameplay highlights. Imagine me casually just getting rid of fog walls. Just can't do that, man. I kind of feel like they have to figure out a way to minimize Leech's impact. It's one of those things nobody wins when Leech is at the absolute top of the meta. No one wants it there. Okay, we send Wongers here. We're gonna Iron Man on the left, sorry, into Aunt May's. Oshoki, thank you so much for the Prime. Appreciate you. Thank you for supporting me and my content. Much love to you. Much love to you. Man, Ravona's too good here too. Ravona into. Okay, I'm gonna Ravona and Sage. Okay. It's not what I expected. Sage is gonna be pretty big though. And now that's a 16 power Sage. They did not expect that. And I have Ironheart. Iron Man goes right, Mystique stays left. Yeah. That's a win, baby. Especially with Silver Surfer. Look at that. So, that's a 16 power Sage. So, we've been saying it's mid, and people say it's mid, but that solo just carried there, right? So, there's definitely potential. The ceiling is so high. Leech is by far the worst thing in this game. It does suck. At least it's worse than it was before, There was a time where Leech was so damn legitimately good. It was stressful. Legitimately stressful to behold. We have to hope for Wolfsbane mid. That's unfortunate. Why not right? Because it's getting locked down. We can hope to win it with... yeah, our negative card isn't going to make a difference here. Ironheart gives us a chance, yeah. I think I brewed here. Ironheart, then brewed. Whatever we top deck doesn't make much of a difference for Mr. Negative. I hate this. One whiff on Ironheart there. So we draw Sage and just lose here, unfortunately. Yeah. They might be fearful of Odin. Yeah, Cannonball's a problem. Cannonball makes these decks. I'm going to throw Wolfsbane Sage here. What? Oh my god. That's not what I expected at all. Whoa. No Cannonball? I did not expect to win that game. What? Where do I put this Nova? I'll put him here. Is Sage a smasher pass? I mean, if you're really into strong, intelligent women, then definitely smash. Sage is known for being a genius. Also has a power scanner. So she knows if you're over 9,000. Okay. My Ravona. It's actually sad. Actually, Sage. All right. Come on now. Mockingbird is so OP, man. Casual 4-9. Very casual 4-9. Namek Saga Bulma, number 1. Oh, even Vegeta. Even Vegeta could not handle Bulma. Right? So I agree with that. I respect the call on Bulma. If the Prince of Saiyans can't resist, who am I to judge? Sage pretty good, right? Sage pretty chonky, right? We just got a little bit of a duplication on Sarah, but that's a pretty big Sage. And then what? You just go Surf, Absorbing Man, hope for the best? Do we even need to Absorbing Man? We don't have enough 3s. We'd probably go Wolfsbane into Surfer? Let me think. This is a 10. So it ties. This beats. Let's give mid. Conversely, do this. Let's try this. I think they got baited into that Nova. Oh. Big dodge? Big dodge there. We're going to get the dub. There it is. It's a good win. Sage is a casual 12, honestly. Wow. It's pretty good. That was a good win. We would have gotten owned by that Cosmo. Oh my god. How dare you? How dare you? Could I do Rock Slide into White Widow into Sage? Maybe? Turn 5 Sage White Widow? This will probably be massive. This will be like a 6 or something. Got some shocker gameplay. Oh my god. This looks like it's going to be annoying. And what we're going to do is we're going to Sage and White Widow together onto Fist Tower. Oh my god. By the way, 2, 3, 4, 1. Sage low-key massive in here. Like, Sage is pretty good here. Right? We got options. We got options. We could do this. 4, 2, 1. Right? We do this. We always pull Red Hulk to the left. Okay, Sage of Casual 3/8's not bad. Got some Enchantress gameplay. Blink. Sage is gone. Alright, that's one way to do it, guys. Order in the court. I'm actually kind of embarrassed. I'm gonna you know what? Like, honestly, I'm gonna put that in the YouTube video. I deserve to get called out for that. That's staying in the YouTube video. Shame on me, man. Oh god. This is staying. I don't care, man. Oh, the humanity. I literally threw the game so hard. Oh god. I threw so hard. Well, Sauce Titania here for the memes. Whoops. I hope you didn't need... Oh god, I hope you didn't need that location or those cards. Cut Sage? You can't just cut Sage. Sage is the reason why we're playing this deck. We can't just cut Sage, even though it's being played with Brood Absorbing Man, which is cringe as hell and it barely works. Sage is the reason for the season. You know? Come on, gamers. We know why we're here. We're here so we can play multiple Widow's Kisses into Castle Blackstone. You guys like cringe? How about this? Into some Electro gameplay? Damn. Was not expecting Electro, I gotta be honest with you. Oh. Is Sage spicy here? Is Sage potentially sensual left? All right.
Alrighty then.